Hello, everybody. Now, to celebrate the return of sport after, it's about 18 months of COVID and lockdowns, I'm going to be interviewing an array of Paralympic stars from our sport. And I'm going to start off with one of the biggest in the sport, and that's Mariska Beijer from the Dutch wheelchair basketball team. And Mariska, how are you? I can see you're in your car. Where are you off to as well?
Well, I have video session and team practice later, so I figured it will be efficient if I'm just in my car doing this, so I don't have a lot of time in between.
Mariska, first of all, I'm so surprised, at the fact that you still have the hunger and appetite, literally 2 weeks after the Paralympics, to be back training and in your car.
Well, it was quite hard. I got back in Germany to train last week, Tuesday, so 8 days since I landed in Amsterdam from Tokyo. Mentally, that was quite tough. I was not ready yet, but as soon as I got back on the court on Thursday with the team, I was like, yes, this is fun. And like the first thing I did here was a Testspiel practice game. So I didn't touch a men's ball in like 5.5 months. And the first thing I did was playing a game with my guys again. So I really felt the fire and also stuff to work on again. So I was like, yeah, let's go practice. I'm ready.
How was it switching back to the size 7 ball?
There might have been a few air balls involved, maybe more than a few.
Surely the best female player in the world, MVP from the 2018 World Championships, never shoots an air ball.
Never is a hard word. I do shoot air balls, trust me. If you practice new shots and you don't shoot an air ball, you're not challenging yourself enough.
Very true, very true. So first of all, it's kind of remiss of me not to congratulate you for your success in Tokyo. Yes, she's got the medal. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Amazing. And you've got that in your car.
I mean, I have it most of the time in my backpack or next to my bed. So yeah. And I knew I was going to talk to you today, so I really had to show it off.
Do you know what I think would be cool with having the medal in your car is if you, not that I'd expect this from someone like you, but if you ever got pulled over by the police for any sort of infraction, you just pull out the medal and you say, what are you doing? Do you know who I am? Check this out.
Well, I think I just do my female stuff, like maybe wink to the officer or something like that. Maybe do a little flirt.
So, the Dutch, or the Netherlands female wheelchair basketball team, you are now, you've completed the Triple Crown, which is rare. That is European champions, world champions, and Paralympic champions. I mean, what is that like to have done that, to have achieved something so incredible?
Like as soon as I qualified for the final, after finally beating Germany in the Paralympic semifinal, we were like, we've never been closer to writing historic history. Like we are the first Dutch wheelchair basketball women's team to win gold, and to then do it as a triple is just insane. And to be part of that legacy and also be crowned MVP because of my important role on the squad, it's just immense. Like I still cannot really describe how it feels because I'm still kind of working out the emotions. But I'm just so overwhelmingly proud of the team and on what we did and how hard we worked for those last 9 years.
Hey, tell me about those 9 years. What would you say were the key points or the turning points? Because you touched a little bit on your rivalry with Germany, and I've watched you guys. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I've watched you guys blow so many games against Germany that you should have won.
I've been on the court.
How were you able to turn that around?
Well, personally, I was just really done. Since 2016, we lost the semis against Germany again. in Rio, and that was just so hard. And as a team, we didn't really talk about that. But during major tournaments after Rio, we only lost one time against Germany, and that was in the preliminaries in Tenerife. And so we were like, okay, we're not gonna lose now. In the preparation, we won against them. Like, we won big time against them, and we were still stressed during this semifinals. I could feel it really tense on the court. And I was really happy that like my shots would run in, because that really releases some tension on the team as well. Like, if I shoot well, and as a team, our defense setup is going really well, then no team can beat us. And yeah, I really the feeling that the faith that the squad had in me really helped that as well for myself.
I mean, what do you do mentally, and how do you pick yourself up from, you know, those constant the losses, those tough losses against Germany in the semi-finals, but also in other times? What do you do as someone of your level to get yourself out of those places?
Well, I'm really a person that, okay, I make a mistake. What can I do better? And let it go. So I'm trying to not really hang in the mistakes, and just trying to look into the positive sides of making the mistake by itself, because if you don't make mistakes, you don't get better. I really believe in that philosophy. I also sometimes get accused about not thinking really. That really shows, like, when I miss a shot, I think like, okay, I'm gonna make the next one. I don't gonna think like I have to make it. I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna make it. That between going to and having to, that's a major difference. And I really think that's just a mindset I already had as a young kid as well. So that really helps me personally, and just trying to get the team into the same vibes with me.
Yeah, I was going to say the one of the toughest things about our sport, I mean, there's many tough things about wheelchair basketball, but one of the tough things is the team dynamic. So it doesn't matter.
The most amazing team part of it.
I agree with you. When it's clicking, it's incredible. It's incredible. But how do you get everybody on the same page, and how do you get that feeling of, you know, we can overcome this challenge at this time? It's okay if you're the positive one, but what about everybody else?
To be my roommate, Ilse Art, she is so technical. So she analyzes everything, which is amazing. But sometimes you just kind of have to put a break on her. And then I come in with like, hey, no, we got this. We had like all the possibilities worked out, no sweat. So I really think like the hard thinking people with like me, like the more OVEC kind of people, that just really combines. So all these different kinds of personalities just really work out together.
So having that blend of, you know, people who are positive, people who are analyzers of the games, you know, having all those different people and bringing them together is important.
Yes. Like, and also being, we have extroverted people, introverted people, lots of experience on court. We also got a few girls that only plays a few years basketball. They all bring certain ingredients into the mix. Or I made a reference to like a diamond. We're all different facets of a diamond, and we have to polish it together to make it truly shine.
Nice analogy. And talk to me about the Tokyo experience, and how did that compare to previous Paralympic Games? Because, you know, it was a different world, isn't it, with COVID?
I mean, empty stadiums is definitely different than like in Rio or in London, where we were playing in front of sold out stadiums. But when you're on the court, you can still feel like the electric vibe that everybody has, that is on court. You're just missing the cheering outside. But to be truly focused on your game, you kind of close yourself. Personally, I closed myself off a little bit for that. So it's only like when you're going for the warm-up, you don't see that wall of sound by the people. But I also think that the volunteers did a really good job by still creating some atmosphere in the arena, and they had a good DJ, that played music, and that all really helped. They had an announcer, so that still helped, like getting those basketball game vibes going on.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
But that was definitely different. Also in the dining hall, where you cannot really talk with your teammates because you're kind of stuck into your little fiberglass or whatever, like
The
that
bubble.
see-through plastic. Yeah, that was dumb, but it's all necessary to have safe games. So
I went to the Ariake Stadium arena many times, and I was surprised that they were still able to create, or the Japanese were still able to create an atmosphere, as you said, with the music and with the volunteers, even though there wasn't a crowd there, which for me was, it was amazing, and it was nice, and it must have been nice for the new Paralympians, the people who were there for the first time, to still have that vibe.
yeah, definitely. It's
And
a different vibe, but it's still a vibe.
Tell me about also about your coach, your head coach, and the importance that Gert-Jan
Oh
van
my
der
God,
Linden.
where do I even start?
Well, he's somebody who I've had many battles with when I was playing, because I'm old. Yeah, and he is a legend of the sport. How important has Gert-Jan been for the development of the Dutch women's team?
Well, he was really the start of us being more professional athletes. So I started training him under him in 2010, when I became full-time athlete at Papendal as a person that would do both athlete and study. I was one of the first few girls that started to practice with the men's team then. Back then, we were mostly guys doing that program. And slowly more women came in. And at some point before Rio, the entire national team had to go full-time. It was either go full-time or nothing. You cannot make even the team. And that mindset really helped by going pro and making such progress as a squad, because you cannot go so well if you don't practice together, or if you don't have that mindset to do everything for your sport, because it's not only about practice, but also how do you eat, how do you sleep, how do you combine everything, do you skip out on some social stuff because it's too exhausting. It kind of sucks sometimes, but it's all important to being professional, and we want to be professional. So we have to do everything we have.
So you talked about, starting, or your early days in wheelchair basketball and getting on the program. How about if you rewind the clock back for me and tell me about how you first got into wheelchair basketball?
Oh my God.
And why did you choose wheelchair basketball?
Well, I started actually out as a wheelchair badminton player.
Wheelchair badminton? What?
I know. Don't yell at me. I'm sorry. I make mistakes in my life. I was really good, okay? As a 9-10-year-old, I was playing with the adults, so I was ambitious.
I'm just laughing. Go on.
But what I was really missing something in badminton, but I didn't know what. One of my teammates there did also play wheelchair basketball, so he said, okay, it's a 10-minute drive to the wheelchair basketball club in the neighborhood, so just come on, hop in, join us at practice one time. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try. So I will never forget the first time I went into that basketball gym. I just opened the door and you could hear the screaming, you could hear a ball bouncing, you can hear like the frame smashing and kind of the smell of burnt rubber, which is amazing. And I was like, okay, holy shit, what is this? I want to be part of this. And then I got involved in my first collision. Nice. And I was like, yes. I could not even make a basket. When I shot, I could even not make the ball bounce off the rim. I was so tiny and weak. I know you cannot believe it right now, but I had like tiny little arms. But I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and practice till I can make a shot. And I think it never stops.
Wow. And first of all, I apologize to all the badminton players out there, because I know it's now a Paralympic sport, but badminton's loss was wheelchair basketball's gain, getting you, Mariska, to join the sport.
Yes.
tell me also about your experience in terms of having a disability. You know, what's that like in the Netherlands? You know, growing up with a disability and playing disability sport.
Well, I think in the Netherlands, the situation is actually pretty good. So you get government funding to get a sports chair, and you get government funding for regular new daily use wheelchairs. So that's really good. And there's information points where you can go play disabled sports. It's either wheelchair or swimming, athletics. You can name it. They have like a little folder about it. You can search up where it is.
Mhm.
So that's actually quite accessible. For me personally, I was the only kid in primary school who had a disability, and I had lots of confidence issues. So I was the bullied kid in class, so that was not fun. But I think that's normal. When you have low self-esteem, you get bullied. That's how kids are. Right now, I'm like, whatever. But
I mean, what was the reason for the bullying?
well, first of all, I was only disabled kid, so the only person that was sometimes in a wheelchair, sometimes walking with crutches,
Mhm.
sometimes walking without aid. Sometimes I was sick because of my chronic diseases. So I just had a lot of issues with my self-image. Like I didn't trust my body, so why should somebody else trust me? That it sounds ridiculous, but in my mind, that was just a thing that was going on in my head, and I was always afraid to say something because if I say something wrong, people will not like me.
Mm.
And right now, when I'm talking in front of a class, I do a lot of like wheelchair basketball clinics or show and tells. And I'm like, it's okay who you are. There's only one person who can be you, and that is you. I wished I had somebody in primary school telling me that because I was not happy how I was, or I wanted to pretend somebody I was not.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just really hard for me. But in the end, I think also that bullying made me stronger, and kind of 10 years later, let me accept myself how I am.
Well, I mean, more than accept yourself. You're excelling. You're flying. Now you have other disabled people and other able-bodied people who are looking up to you as a role
Yeah,
model. You know
I know.
what's that like? You know, to know
It's
that other people
insane.
are looking at you and thinking, "I want to be like Mariska."
Well, I had a presentation on Tuesday for 500 people online, and they were like, "Your story is so inspiring," and I wish if my kid had a disability, they will grow up like you, or even be an athlete like you when they have an AB kid. I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. I think it's really cool that even though with all my struggles I had in my early days, all the hospitals, all the surgeries, it all didn't matter because now I'm 30 years old. I'm a 3-time Paralympian and kicking ass.
More than kicking ass. Um, and what about your disability? How did you become disabled?
So when I was 1.5, I had chemo because I had kidney cancer, and between my chemos, I was at home. I used to live with my parents, and it was like a 2-story, so I had to go up the stairs to the bedroom and then down the stairs to the living area stuff. So I was walking down the stairs. I lost my balance. I pulled my mom with me, and I broke my right upper leg.
Wow.
Um, they treated it wrong in the hospital, so it was a medical mistake, and I ended up with no blood flowing through my right underleg. So that kind of disturbed my muscles. So my muscles pretty much died. They had to amputate my muscles, but without your muscles in your lower leg, your foot doesn't do this anymore, and it will start to grow really weird. So
Yeah.
in total, I had like 20, 25 surgeries in my right lower leg, and in the end, they had to amputate it when I was 7.
7. And
Yeah.
and then what age did you start wheelchair basketball?
11.
11.
Yeah.
Was it easy to find disability sport
Yes.
in the Netherlands?
Definitely easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and talk to me about, you know, how much sport helped you with your confidence and helped you deal with?
Oh, enormous. Like, I don't, to show you, like, my presentation is called How Sport Saved My Life.
Wow.
I really believe that sport saved me from myself. Like, sport gave me the confidence of what I can do with my body. In my sports chair, I'm like, I can do anything I can want. I can turn, I can balance on one wheel. I can do anything. I'm the quickest person on the court most of the time. So it gives me so much freedom. And without wheelchair basketball or sports in life, I would not have been traveling the world. I would not have been making so many close friends that I have now. Like, I can go on a trip to Sweden or to the US or to Israel, and I have amazing friends living there. And it gave me such a good support system with my teams or previous club teams that, yeah, it's just overwhelming.
And what about being a female role model? You know, how important do you see that as being in your life?
I think that mainly is where I'm now, that I'm playing in Hanover United in a mixed team, playing technically in a men's league. When I tell people like, yeah, I'm a girl, so I play as a 2-5 in the men's league, and they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's sexist, but I'm okay with that because I'm a 2-5.
I mean, that's a whole nother story when we start talking
But
about
sometimes
that's
life is unfair, and you
yeah,
have to take advantage of it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
in this case, I'm taking advantage of it.
Well, that's what sport is about, isn't it? Taking advantage of
This
the
much?
weaknesses. But just seriously though, in terms of self-esteem for young women and young girls growing up with disabilities, you know,
I think it's really important.
how important do you feel your role is, and is it for them to see someone like you, a strong, confident female who has a disability, you know, just killing it out there?
I think it's really important. Like, when I grew up, there was this player of Team Netherlands, also number 15, by coincidence, just saying. When I saw her playing the first time, I was like, okay, she is such a powerful woman. I want to be like her.
Yeah.
And I really hope that I can install that fire in even one or two people that I'm happy. Of course, I kind of hope it's more. I'm really think there are more people that are installed by fire by seeing me play as a monster. But
And
yeah, I really hope that being so physical but also showing sportsmanship is really important to show around the world.
and you talk about that physicality. You are a physical player. I've seen you on the court.
Yeah.
You know, you like to mix it up and knock people about. Especially, I mean, I was watching the first half of the game against China, which was a really tough physical game because they
Yeah.
play very defensive. But one thing, especially in this world that we live in, which is dominated by social media, dominated by people's physical appearance. You know, young girls, young boys are
Mm-hmm.
all worried about what they look like. You know, what do you think Paralympians and female Paralympians like yourself, you know, what sort of message can you give to other young girls? Because I'm trying to think, you haven't got
Yeah.
the typical female body,
No,
but
I don't.
it's still cool. It's still cool.
I love my body. Yes, I love my shoulders. Like, I'm like, Now, what my message would be, there's no perfect body. So why would you try to make your body perfect?
It's good. Yeah, no, it's pretty simple as
Yeah.
that. It's just, you know, how many kids spend so much time wanting to look like what
I
they
mean,
think
shouldn't be
is.
worried because I'm getting older, so I'm starting to get wrinkles. So
Nah, nah, nah. Wait till you get to my age. Wait till you get to my age.
no.
Now, okay, then let's have a quick move on to women's wheelchair basketball and the standard. You know, how much has it progressed since when you first began playing?
Well, I think the playing field got a little bit got wider, so more squads are competing for like the top 5-6 spots. I think before it was too much of like Team USA, Team Germany, Canada, Australia, and now it's really mixed up in the top. Except for now us, of course, we've been dominating in the top spot, but that's just us. But I really think in general, because there's also more women playing in men's leagues, the league itself, like our women's league, gets stronger as well. And I really think that's also important to when they show it and there's more broadcasting about it, so more interesting for sponsorships, and then it just snowball effect to the players as well. So it's more interesting to start playing wheelchair basketball on a higher level.
And what do you think about yeah, because as you said, a lot of the top women are playing in men's leagues, but don't you think it's even more important that women have their own leagues as well? Because not all women would be able to play in the men's game.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I think it's good to have also a women's league. Like they started it in the UK as well. Sort of. I mean, also with COVID, it's kind of hard. But for like the top women, for me, I would just stay here in the men's league. But to get that growth in the female section, I think it's really good to have higher level games on regular basis. So, and if they can do that with a women's league in the UK, where all like the sub top goes to, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah. What about in the Netherlands? How far off are they from having a strong female league?
We hardly have a strong regular league, so sadly, yeah. We I think the Eredivisie now has 5 teams, and that's mainly that's a mix between men and women's in the teams. So I think if they even have to split that up more to create a women's division, it's impossible. I think we can maybe make 2 teams, and that is then not efficient.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the key places where I think women's wheelchair basketball can really progress in having their own leagues. I mean, I've watched, you know, I've been playing for decades, and I've watched the standard move up and up and up, and I think it's really got to a nice place. But I think the next stage is for there to be more women around the world. You know, yes. At the moment it's, you know, Germany, the Netherlands, USA, China have just come in there, and GB around there. But we need African teams. We need Asian women's teams.
Yeah, it's so sad that we can only see, like, from Africa, I only see Team Algeria. And it's really sad that that is the highest level of Africa. Like, that makes my heart sad.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can we help to make them better? I know, but we had a player of Team Japan. She came to the Netherlands and trained with us for a few months. That was amazing. But I don't know if how that possibility is to send players over, or like trainers over to Africa. I think that's the issue. I think like it's a long distance to get the high quality trainers to there and lead their trainers, like how to teach them how to teach, or to have basketball players that wants to get better fly all the way to wherever the good trainers are.
I think the Netherlands, you know, with your success, you need to go on a world tour. And you need to like go around places like Africa and South America and Asia, you know, playing and going to schools.
I mean, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
That would be cool. I don't know where I have the time to do that, or where we have the time to do it, but maybe
you got the time. You got the time. So
maybe it's 10 years when I retire.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it sooner than that. So here's some questions for you. Like, who inspires you Who are the people that have really made you want to be better?
My teammates and my mom.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
so sweet. That's so sweet. Are you worried your teammates are going to be watching this? Is that why you're saying that?
No, I have so much trust and faith in my teammates, and I know the faith and trust they put in me. So I really want to expect and exceed their expectations.
Nice. So, do you have any rituals or preparations before big games?
Well, I do a lot. I don't necessarily have a set of like I'm gonna tie my shoe or first my left knee pad, then my right. I don't really have that. But I do like to shoot around before a game. So
Mm-hmm.
first some close by baskets, then like the zone round, then a little bit further, then some free throws. It's more like a little the shooting motion in
Yeah,
the body.
just getting into the flow
Yeah,
of your shot and your
yeah.
action and warming
I
up.
would say that's my most ritualistic thing I have is just shoot around before practice for the game.
Nice. What's the best game you've ever played?
I think World's Finals 2018 or this year's semifinal against Germany.
I wonder why. I mean, talk to me about those moments. Tell me what it was and how you felt and what got you up to score those points and play so well.
Well, during finals in 2018, I just had the feeling like the basket was this big, was immense. I could not miss a shot. I think I missed one shot at that game. And I made some important defensive stuff. So I just get into that vibe, and the entire team was in the vibe. I cannot really recall moments of that game because I was just so into the zone, and the last minute we knew we were gonna win the world's title was just pure bliss. The semifinals, I was like, okay, we had some issues. That a few of the teammates didn't really felt comfortable shooting, and I was like, okay, if you don't want to shoot, I'm gonna shoot it. Give me the ball, and I shot the ball and it went in. So
It's lovely to have that attitude of just being free in your mind, because there's a lot of times in sport where people get caught up with, what happens if I miss, or they feel so much tension, but you don't seem to have that at all.
well, I had it during the final against China, which was quite funny. Like, well, I had not enough tension in my body. I was too relaxed. That was an issue that game. But yeah, normally I'm like, I'm just gonna make the next one, no biggie.
I mean, you do also have to give credit to China's defense. Their defense was absolutely
They
incredible.
were really good. But
Yeah,
the downside is when my like Jitske was shooting great that game, Bo was amazing, Karina made some important shots and layups.
yeah.
If
I mean,
they play defense on me like that, I'm like, I got 4 teammates on court. There you go. Have
that's the
fun.
strength.
I'm gonna stay in my corner with 2 people.
That's
Bye.
the strength. That's the strength of the Dutch team. Right, before I round it up, because I'm going to round up with some quick fire questions towards the end. But before that, I just want you to, because this is a feeling many people will never get, or in their lives, or will one day want to wish or hope to get. Talk to me about what it was like being on that rostrum as the gold medal was being put around your neck.
It was full of warmth and happiness. The cool thing was I got my medal hung up by Karina. She is a team captain.
Yeah.
She also I was able to first put the medal on her neck. I would almost say that feeling was just or even more proudness than I had when she put on my own. Like to be able to even put it on my teammates and Karina's neck, that was just immensely proud, and I was just so happy for her. And then she did the same to me, and I just felt all warm and fuzzy and just so blessed. like just full of bliss. I was like, this is the pinnacle of our sport. Like, we just bloody did this. Like, how? And is it even real? If I wake up tomorrow, do I still have the medal? Quite insane.
I'm feeling the vibes now. I can see in the smile in your face and in your eyes, you know, how much it meant to you and stuff. And how much do you think this, the success of the Dutch team, what does it mean to Paralympic sport in the Netherlands and also to female sport in the Netherlands?
I think a lot. Actually, the last few games were live broadcasted in the Netherlands. Like the major news network sent out the semifinal and the final for the first time in history. I think that was so important that like all the people could see, and it was like almost prime time too. It was like in the middle of the day, around lunchtime. So a lot of people saw the games, and I got so many messages from people that I don't know, like, "Hey, I watched the game. Really good job, amazing!" And also from people from my new city where I live. I moved houses 1.5 years ago, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the grocery guy from the Jumbo. I saw you play. See you next time when you do grocery shopping." I was like, "Hey, cool."
Yes. So you're getting recognized now.
Yes, more and more. I cannot go like buy a secret snack in the supermarket anymore.
Surely you don't have secret snacks. Surely you eat like your body's a temple and you eat super healthy.
I'm trying to, but I do need chips sometimes.
Brilliant. Mariska, it's been absolutely awesome to talk to you. I want to finish off with some quick fire questions. I mean, some of these questions are going to be pretty silly. Some of them will be, you may take them seriously. But the key thing about this is you do not hesitate. You answer straight away. You don't need to think. It's gut.
Oh, shit.
It's instinct.
Well, I'm good at not thinking, so.
Yes, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm going to give you 1 minute to answer these questions. All right? Are you ready?
Fire away.
Here goes. The clock starts now. Paralympic gold or World Championship gold?
Paralympic.
Speed or height?
Speed.
Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Ketchup. I'm allergic for mayo, so.
Morris dancing or kabaddi?
Sorry, what?
Morris dancing or kabaddi? Kabaddi is an Indian game where men run around in their underpants.
Oh, that one, definitely. If they're hot.
Cats or dogs?
Hot dogs.
Schreefenena or Scunthorpe? Quick, come on.
Scheveningen.
Marvel or DC?
Ooh, Marvel.
LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron.
Lisa Leslie or Diana Taurasi?
Lisa.
Chicken or egg? Which came first?
The chicken.
Venga Boys or Spice Girls?
Spice Girls.
That is it. Your time is up. I think you did very well there. I think you did very well. I mean, you were the one that made me laugh was what was it, Schreifendainer and Scumford? How was my pronunciation?
Horrible.
Come on, come on.
Sorry. Scheveningen.
It feels like I've got like some problem with my throat.
Maybe you need a COVID test now.
Mariska, listen, that was absolutely awesome. Best of luck in the future. You know, good luck in the league as well, because I know you've got more stuff to come with the
game Saturday.
Well. Yes, yes, and in the future. But thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I had fun.